This video will instruct students on how to create an ERD or Entity Relationship Diagram using Lucid Chart. This app is available on your or through your Google Drive. When we open the app, you'll come to a dialog box asking you for a name. I'm simply going to call this document ERD because it's going to be an Entity Relationship Diagram. The first thing we need to do is start putting the shapes or symbols of the diagram. We're going to use the containers because they're fairly easy to manipulate. So the first thing we need to do is a rectangle container for the entity. Too big, so we get the size handles to make it smaller, and we can then move it around to where we would like that to be. Second shape we need is an oval for the characteristics of that entity. Again, we just need to resize this and reposition it so it's where we want. And then finally, once I get this back to where it should be, we need a diamond to represent the relationships between the entities. Again, too big, resize, and that's probably, we'll just move down a tad. Okay. We want two characteristics on this entity, so the easiest way to do that is to select the first characteristic shape you've drawn, go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste, and you can whack that back in here. One thing nice about the program, it has those guidelines, so you can line them up with the other ones that are already there. Okay, what we're going to do now is just colour these in with some colours as I've used in the station video ERD. So to do that, select the shape, then I use blue on the characteristics. So select the shape, go to fill, select blue, there you go. I used red on the entities. There's no specific colour, I just use those for a little bit more clarity. And there we have our shapes. Next thing you want to do is put some labels on. So we go to the text, drag that across, okay, and double click it so we can edit the actual text. And we put in here, we put entity. Now that's a bit small, so we can just select that text, come up here and can change that. We're going to change it to 14 point, which is good. We can then reposition that till it's about center, which is there, it's pretty close. Do the same for characteristics. So again, drag the text across, pop it in here, double click it, characteristic, just move it around a little bit to close to where we want it. That looks good. Now then the next step is to join these, and the way you do that is just go into these shapes to these drawing handles and then just drag, and you'll find that a line with an arrow appears. Doesn't have to link to the drawing spots on the other shape, which is good. So there we go, and then one finally from the relationship to the entity. Okay, that's nice. So that's the basis of our ERD, and by cutting and pasting these shapes you can build up the ERD quite easily. To save that, it's simply just File and Save. Now that will put it into your Google Drive. The next thing you'll need to do is to save it as a JPEG graphic file. The way to do that is to File, Download As, select JPEG. I'd suggest you set the print quality to high, it gives you the best quality. Download, you'll get a download bar will appear on the bottom of your screen, and just save as, and then save where you want it to go. entirely up to you, but as long as you know where you put it. That way you can then upload it to the, just save that, you can upload that to the submission point on Moodle, and I will assess it for you on how you've gone. Now that will be for the practice assessment, practice case study, which is titled Clubs Program. Good luck with your creating your ERDs.